Welcome to another AMA with Kadena Project Network. In this episode, we will be speaking with the team from Kadefi Money. This conversation was recorded on July 11th, 2022, live on Twitter Spaces. The views and expressions in this AMA do not represent the views of KPN directly and are not to be considered as financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research on the projects presented. Also make sure to follow our account to be alerted of new uploads. Now let's get started. Enjoy.
Yep, perfect timing actually. Welcome up. Can you guys hear me all right, by the way? I'm using some different headphones.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Great, then we'll get started in 1 minute.
Got it.
Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another KPN AMA. I'm Manatee speaking, and today we're just going to kind of be talking about Kadefi, which is a universal Kadena dashboard, which will give you access to view your NFTs, DeFi stakes, and any money you have in the Kadena ecosystem, all from their one website, which is really cool. So yeah, if you guys could introduce yourselves.
Sure. Hi, my name is you can call me ST. I'm a core developer in Kadefi, and what your description of Kadefi was perfect. That's what we're trying to build in the Kadena ecosystem. Asahi?
Yep, exactly. So we are just a small team of two people currently. Both of us are full-time software engineer at a traditional finance firm, and then we just started getting involved in Kadena since December, and very glad to be here speaking with the Kadena Project Network community. Yep.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on with us. We always appreciate it. You're helping a lot of people in this space kind of understand your project and its worth and what it's going to bring to the table in Kadena. So, yeah. So first of all, like you guys are basically the D Bank. If you guys ever heard of D Bank, it's essentially like a EVM, Ethereum DeFi dashboard, and you guys are basically the Kadena version of that. So, when did you guys really like start building this out?
Yeah, actually, we officially started with the project since May. Yes, we did hear of DBank before. And I think when we started with Kadena involving in the ecosystem, we realized that there is something that is missing in the ecosystem. And therefore, we think that this would actually help out a lot of people while in being involved in different NFT projects, being involved in different DeFi protocols, because those are the issues that we had ourselves while trying to get more involved in the ecosystem. Yeah,
Yep.
we started in I think way back on December. Yeah, you want to add on to this, ST?
Oh no. Mainly we started because at least I was an active user of another platform called Apeboard, which is, I guess, sort of like the bank, just to track your portfolio and stuff like that. And once projects started launching, KDEX or other projects, and we realized that we really need somewhere to see everything. It's especially with the 20 chain setup, it's definitely much more harder to see things. Yeah. So that's why we got started with the project.
Yeah, I agree. I think in terms of indexing, the current Chainweb Explorer is not the most intuitive. So you guys are definitely this is much needed. Let's be real, and just like our website was also much needed in terms of kind of looking at projects, doing research on them, like one giant index, and you guys are taking that to the next level too, with like actual DeFi stakes. So this is going to make it a lot easier for people inside of protocols, especially as the ecosystem expands even more. It's going to be a lot easier for people to manage their DeFi portfolios, and I think that's going to also attract more people to Kadena.
Yep, that's what we feel as well.
So next question would be, like, how many active developers do you have on the team? This is a question I always ask everyone, and obviously you guys probably don't need as much capacity as, say, miners of Kadena. I see you, Adam, in the space. Thanks for chiming in. But yeah, That's just a question I ask everyone.
Well, our our full team is here, so the whole team for Kadefi is currently just 2 people, me and Asahi, and we're full-time developers. Um, that's why you don't see us as active on Twitter as much as we would like to be. So that's the whole team, with 2 developers working on the whole project. Yep.
That's actually like really impressive to me, especially you guys are kind of the first of your kind in like Kadena, and it's really cool to me. I'm glad to hear it. And you guys are obviously passionate about what you do, based off the product, and even in your beta, like it's pretty good. Like I've used it myself. I've looked at like it's surprising to me to kind of like see my Kadena bulls and my kitty cat and like Vibenas and stuff like that. It's pretty cool to me that I can I'll be able to like fully do that as I put more stake into the ecosystem. So yeah, and so I can't wait till you guys full launch. But one quick question about the beta, which would be,
Mhm.
have you guys ever gotten any? This might just be me, so I'm just gonna say it. I've had like very slow load times when it comes to putting in my address. Is that more of a Kadena blockchain issue, as like with indexing and stuff like that, or is that more of maybe a Flux hosting issue or anything like that? Can you guys put any input or provide any input for that?
Yeah, so actually this is a good question. We've had some issues with the chain. For us, we suspect it's the chain web node. So there's a specific endpoint where you can query things from the blockchain. It's called the local endpoint, and um, the implementation of that endpoint seems to be is some sort of queue based implementation. So um, as requests pile up to a single chain web node, it gets slower as because the queue size grows and chain web node is processing them one by one, and the queue size grows, so the chain web node is kind of slow at processing things. So, and we do have a lot of requests to the chainnet node. We need to get your balance for every single token and every single chain. You need to get your investment from different projects. You need to get your NFTs. So we do have a lot of calls, even more compared to any other protocols out there right now, actually. So our node setup is actually quite unique in the ecosystem right now. We're using Flux, and we have 20 no, 15 chain web nodes running by ourselves, so that we don't really disrupt any other projects using the other chain web nodes. So we set up 15 chain web nodes. We also set up a new proxy chain web, things like that to load balance between multiple chain web node clusters. Yeah, so it's pretty slow. That's why we named it beta. We would definitely want it to get it faster, but we will have to dig deeper into how to get it faster. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I totally understand it's beta. I don't know if my question came off as like it might have came off as rude because obviously you guys are still beta. It's like your first. It's like you launched less than a day ago, right? So I don't
No,
want to come off as rude.
we knew the problem of this slow chain web, and it was causing us more problems than we could have launched much earlier if this wasn't an issue. But what we were trying to do was at least get it sort of working fast enough for the users to use it, because it was a big problem for us as well. And it's good that you brought it up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's totally understandable. I know a lot of other projects, including I think Katie launched at one point with their first IDO, and yeah, a couple of projects actually have had some issues with connecting to like Chain Web Node. It's something that's been brought up and is hopefully like in development by the actual Kadena team to like get a fix or something working. So hopefully that gets patched up. And I'm glad to hear you guys are running your own Chain Web nodes for the future to kind of query traffic to like your site, and yeah, it'll become faster. So hopefully they
Yeah.
fix that too, just so that it encourages more developers. to come on to Kadena because yeah, I think it
Yeah,
speaks for itself. The
yeah, and
faster queries gonna attract more developers.
yeah, generally compared to other chains, Kadena has a unique setup of these multiple chains and 20 chains chain web. So there's more requests that needs to go through because we need to query from many different chains. So yeah, hopefully that gets. We will try to make it faster on our side. We will try to work with Kadena team as much as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you guys are. You said you could have launched much earlier if this wasn't a problem. I'm glad you guys
Yeah.
are really looking at the user experience side of things because
Mhm.
that's what's going to propel Kadena to the top. So yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Speaking of user experience, actually, our focus was user experience and user interface, I guess. Mainly because Kadena ecosystem as a whole can be better with better UI UX projects, I guess. And we wanted to show a standard of how good a UI UX can be. And Asahi here has been really helpful with the whole design and the user experience. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And I want to talk a little bit about your guys' integrations
Mhm.
because you guys, even for a beta, like you guys are right off the bat. Almost every active project has integrations right now, and almost every liquid token too. So yeah, really cool stuff there. I was not expecting that for a beta launch for like really any project, but yeah, that's really cool stuff. So I was amazed when I entered my address and I saw all this stuff. The tabs are really organized. Just the whole interface is really intuitive. So yeah, it was a really cool experience for me to do that, especially for something because I use DBank normally when I'm trying to view my Ethereum and EVM positions.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was really cool to kind of see that on Kadena, and I'm excited to see where you guys go in the future with each new project and each new partnership.
Yep. Yeah. So right now, I would say there wasn't too much integrations that was required. There was a few projects and a few tokens, and but as the ecosystem grows and we see um, probably massive growth in the number of projects launching in Kadena, um, we would definitely need some um, standardized way of onboarding new projects onto Kadefi. Right now, we just handle it all by ourselves, and it's just the two of us. So sometimes we may miss out things. Like we haven't integrated to any of the IDO. I mean, I guess we integrated to KD launch staking, but we don't really show any information about the IDO. We're not integrated to Hypercent and things like that. So um, actually, Kadena Project Network would be definitely a good some sort of collaboration to do in order because you guys are always up to date with whatever is going on in the Kadena ecosystem. So that's something we can talk and work things out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, we have such a strong team over here at the KPN. You guys are so passionate over at Kadefi. I'd
Mhm.
love to, yeah, kind of collab, and then we can really raise awareness for the ecosystem and provide an onboarding experience for like people that are new to Kadena that don't have to go through a bunch of chain web videos and chain web explanations stuff like that, and have to kind of search around for gems on the blockchain. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool.
Mhm.
So I guess my next question would be with Kadefi. I'm gonna kind of circle back to like partnerships and integrations. Are you
Mhm.
guys looking at some sort of front end interfaces for some of these like D apps that people can interact with directly from your website?
Well,
So I'm not.
we really haven't thought of um, I guess well integrating with the I guess creating a UI for ourselves, which we would allow users to interact with other DApps is what you're trying to ask, right? We didn't really have that in plan. Um, there would definitely be more things to do on the website in the future, but yeah, that wasn't part of our roadmap, I guess. Yeah, but we could
Yeah,
we could look into it if that's what the community wants. Something to directly access and manage on the same dashboard. If that's something people want, then we could try looking into that as well.
yeah, and I apologize if that's kind of like it is an ignorant question, to be honest, because I know near zero about Web3 development, and I'm just using buzzwords to kind of ask a question there. But hopefully you kind of understood the grasp, and it seems like you
Yeah,
did based
yeah,
on
yeah,
your answer.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's really needed right now. But yeah, eventually, if it is possible through
Mhm.
Kadena and the community does want it as it expands, then yeah, could be something really cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's an interesting idea as well to allow people to just use our website to interact with the smart contracts of different dApps. That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. So, when it comes to kind of like the community's growth over time, like you guys said, you started last year, kind of working on this, and then, if I'm not mistaken, you said December.
Well, December is when we sort of got into the whole ecosystem. I think I only got to know it through some influencers and started looking into Kadena, and I think it was the time when KDEX was launching, and there was this whole IDO going on, and that's when we got involved at first. When we decided to build this website was more of a month and a half ago, around May, when um, during the first 5 months, it was just playing around with Kadena and seeing what pact is and trying to learn what pact is and stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. That's crazy. You said you started in May, like active development. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear you guys are in the ecosystem and here to stay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really impressive to me. So props to you guys.
Yeah.
Um, how has like you said you've been looking into the ecosystem from December, and then how has like the hospitality of the community been to you as an individual or like Kadefi as a whole?
hmm Well, it's for me at least. It's been quite a good experience. When I was first getting to learn Pact and stuff like that, I directly reached out to KittyCat Twitter message DM, and then I just asked the account a bunch of questions about Pact, and they were very receptive. They really replied everything, all the questions I had, and um, the Kadena Pact channel or the Builders channel was also very useful. Whenever I had some questions or doubts or had some stupid questions because I didn't know enough about Pact, they would a lot of people will come out and help us and answer our questions. And so yeah, it's been a quite receptive and helpful experience. I think people Asahi had some interaction with some um, developers from KDEX as well. Just ask a question, they will just come back to you and reply, and that's I guess that's the whole purpose of developing in Web3 versus Web2. We get everyone's very helpful to build in their ecosystem. Yeah, so it's been a great experience in terms
Awesome.
of receptiveness. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kitty Cad, they're great. They've been here for a long time. First real NFT min, and then uh, also, with like their hospitality and like uh, how they will like post stuff in the Kadena GitHub, like issues they're trying to improve Pact, improve the Web3 experience for future developers. They've said multiple times that they were one of the like prime users of the like Stack Overflow for Pact and stuff like that, trying to provide as
Yeah.
many resources for future developers as possible. And then we also have like KDA Bet, which is actually doing like public Twitter threads with like Pact information and any issues they're having with Pact, which is kind of a good resource for future developers. So yeah, everyone is so open, like you said in the Web3 space, about like um, you know uh, kind of learning pact or learning even solidity in Ethereum or something like that. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that the community has been treating you well and that everyone's getting the resources that they need.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of getting help, the Flux team has been extremely helpful as well. When we were trying to get us set up in Flux infrastructure, yeah. Especially the trunk or other developers in Flux has been really helpful. We've also had to make some changes to Flux, just to handle our use case. Um, so that's been quite a fun experience. Learning two different technologies just to get something running, and it's been a quite fun experience here.
And also is that we definitely would want to contribute back also. So we had a lot of learnings from our setting up our different nodes. Once give it some time to see how stable it is, and we definitely would make a blog post about our current chain web node setup so that other project can benefit as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm really like excited to see where you guys go in the future, especially with like you guys have only had a month and a half really of development, and you guys already have all these integrations. Like I was not expecting that. We talked about you guys when you kind of first made your announcement. You guys have a few other competitors, but I don't think they're kind of spreading themselves thin with a bunch of different blockchains. But they're working on Kadena. But yeah, you guys have sole dedication here, and clearly you guys made a product that works, and it's definitely going to be like really interesting to explore in the future, and I think it's going to be very useful to a lot of people. So yeah, thank you. That's really all the questions I have. If anyone wants to ask them any questions, please request, and then I'll add you up here. And if it's not a question, you just want to speak to the team, that's also fine. It's all open.
I guess we can briefly talk about what's coming for Kadefi in the future. Right now, we're just the dashboard where you can see everything. We try to keep it that way. We will try to be more active in the community, trying to see if there's new projects or new liquidity pools or stuff like that in the ecosystem. And what's coming next is we've been getting a lot of comments from the launch post is to be able to handle multiple wallets in a single dashboard, and I think that's a really good suggestion from the community, and it's something we didn't really have it on our roadmap, but since everyone seems to want it, we are trying to prioritize it. So we would try and build a single view for multiple wallets. So that's coming. Also, if you've noticed from the website, we do have a feature which many different dashboards don't have, which is your portfolio history. Is to watch your portfolio grow daily. Instead of just getting the price of a token and extrapolating that in the history, we will actually, keep track of how much you had on a single day and how has it been going for the past 6 months or 1 year and stuff like that. So you don't need. Generally, for me, I have an Excel sheet to track all my investments. We're trying to get rid of your Excel sheet of investments. You can just use our portfolio history to track your portfolio, and also other tools are on the way. More DeFi related tools, I guess. We're not gonna say too much about it, but it's some automated way of participating in different DeFi investments in Kadena ecosystem. So those are a few things which we're trying to build and which is coming for Kadefi. If you guys have any questions on that, we can answer as well.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, me personally, I also use an Excel sheet along with those crypto tax websites. Those are pretty helpful to me, especially like at the end of at the end of the year and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of cool that you guys are, yeah, you said getting rid of that Excel sheet, helping you out, like helping the user out, especially with like Kadena blockchain. It's very early. There's going to be a lot of tax work to do, especially with like I use Babena Finance. I locked up my KDA there to kind of earn on it. And yeah, I had to do a lot of work with timing and stuff like that. Like I had to take a bunch of screenshots, and I had to go back in TradingView and stuff like that to kind of figure out the price at the time. And yeah, it's a pretty big hassle. So glad to hear you guys are making that a much easier experience for the Kadena blockchain. No questions really there. I'm just really excited to see where you guys go.
That's great. Yep. And we actively take feedback from the community, and if you find anything wrong with the platform, or if there's some sort of feature you guys would want to see, definitely you could reach out to us through Twitter, and we will see how we can get to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, really excited to see where you guys go. And like they said, if the community has any suggestions, like reach out. I see the Kadena community as like village and everybody. That's just how I see it personally. Like I recognize so many names on Twitter, so many projects, and I love to just stay in touch with the ecosystem. And our new website is helping people do that, and also your guys' website is doing that. So yeah, I'm glad to see you guys are also raising awareness for the ecosystem as well, because Kadena is the future. Like I see it as the future main utility chain, because it's not really like in its own niche, but rather like it can provide like an equal amount of this thing here to an equal amount of that thing there. Like there's some gaming chain niches, DeFi niche, like stuff like that. I think Kadena is really well balanced in a lot of it, and I think, like you said, like with the chain web node issues and stuff like that, I think those are just some user experience, developer experience issues, and over time, once they get fixed, I think Kadena is going to see a lot more developer activity and a lot more attention driven to like Kadefi and KPN.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And KPN has been very helpful with getting us listed on the website, and the website is pretty nice. We get to see all the projects, and we will definitely be using it more as the ecosystem grows and everything gets out of hand, and we have no clue what's launched and what's not launched. So definitely would be is a good tool to have in the ecosystem.
And hey, if you guys ever kind of like want to learn more about a project, it's basically like my job to just stay in touch with the ecosystem. So feel free to reach out to Manatee Crypto. That's Manatee_crypto on Twitter. Just DM me, and then I'll like personally help you guys out if you ever want to understand a project more or want to get like a connection. Just let me know.
Cool. Sounds great. Anything from you, Asahi? Anything else or anything?
Nope, not for me. And we'll have, I guess we can just, if you don't mind waiting 1 minute, if anyone wants to request.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Doesn't seem like anybody is trying to request right now. Thank you all for coming on and listening today. Sorry, it's one of the shorter AMAs. This was kind of short notice for me, and yeah, I'm glad that you guys could, make it. This is very interesting AMA. Hopefully, we can do it again once you guys are more developed in the future.
Yep,
and yeah,
sure.
Thank you for coming on.
Cool. Thank you so much for having us. Let us know if you can always reach out to us through DM on Twitter. So looking forward to what's coming next to Kadena.
Likewise. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That wraps up another amazing AMA. Thank you for listening. Here at KPN, we strive to bring an open platform for projects being built on Kadena to present themselves to the community. Please ensure to do your own research on each project before investing. Also, make sure to follow us on our social media, from Twitter to subscribing to our weekly newsletter. All the links can be found directly on our SoundCloud profile page. Thank you very much for listening and take care.